because it looks like the swans are back, which is really wonderful news because a friend of mine had told me that there was something terrible that happened. And apparently it came from a wildlife centre source. Now, when I quizzed a little bit further into this, the person didn't quite know which wildlife centre they worked at and things. So I held off on it. And I was very careful not to repeat that rumour because it could have caused some problems. And my theory was because, I think I think they struggled a little bit with their offspring last year. There was some issues with them. So I thought that maybe they'd just gone somewhere safer to have the babies and then maybe come back, later. And that's what's happened. So I did hear one report that they were seen further up the river. And the person seemed pretty confident about it. And they'd said it was like, they said they'd seen them within the last 2 weeks. And that was about a month or two ago, the conversation. But last year they had 10 babies. And this year it looks like they've got 5. Still great numbers. So I'm really hoping that we're going to start seeing them on our morning feeds because the swans were actually pretty friendly with me, and they were actually the first to hand feed from me. I'm going to check the tags because I made a note of the numbers on their tags just to check that they are in fact still the same ones. But it would be unusual if they weren't. I think it would be unusual for a new pair to come back to this river with their offspring. You could imagine them sort of. You could imagine a pair checking out a new river. Checking for better feeding territory and safety and things. But you wouldn't imagine a new pair coming back to a river and bringing their offspring here. Or, sorry, hatching their offspring here. There's no way they could bring the offspring here. And that also does show. Now, that of course. So that shows that they must have had the chicks on the river. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. How beautiful they are. There was a third lawn male as well, but the male here would chase them off quite regularly. It would get quite violent. One time he kind of split the other guy's head open and you know had a good attempt at drowning him. But the other male hung around. The craziest thing, like so many people have walked past on the bridge and haven't even noticed A, that the swans are back, or B, that they've got little chicks. I would imagine anybody here who's a fan of the river would be really pleased to see them again. We haven't seen them for a good few months. But they had 10 chicks last year, and they got all of them to full size. There was a couple of incidents, and I think a couple were damaged last year. But it, and definitely what the there was some damage done. But again, there was a lot of rumors about whether they died and different things like that. People just want answers. These are such an important part of the town. It's such a wonderful part. They're an important part for tourism. There's other lakes around the area where, there's like multiple swans, 20, 30 swans, and they get a lot of tourists, and a lot of visitors just to see the swans. So these are massively important for the town. And they're a good sign, They're a good sign of the health and cleanliness of the area. Now, I'm no water expert or anything, so I don't know exactly what the cleanliness levels are, but they're obviously clean enough. But yeah, I'm blown away. I'm really happy. The female looks very small. I mean, females are always noticeably smaller, but she wasn't. Last year, she didn't seem that much smaller. It would take you a minute or two of looking to work out which one was the male and the female. But maybe he was a little bit younger, and maybe he's grown up a bit now. Oh, look. Mama's going to see the babies. Be interesting to see like what affection takes place between them. Do they nuzzle up against each other? Does the mama kind of preen the birds and stroke them with her beaks? Oh look! Oh, can you believe it? The duck is there with her three chicks as well. I mean, isn't that the most incredible sight? Now the female duck doesn't have a breeding partner this year. She Well, her chicks were fathered by around 12 to 20 males, and it doesn't look like she settled down with any of them afterwards. And I don't blame her because that was a very difficult time for her. And it would be nice to see if next year, maybe she's an inexperienced female, it would be nice to see next year if she actually picks a male this time rather than, what happened this season. But either way, she's done extremely well. I think she had six ducklings and three remain. And she is extremely strong. Like we'll see her in the mornings up at the jetty, and she will fight her corner like mad. I've seen her full on fight off a few males, and I've never seen her lose an actual fight yet against a male. She will back off from some, maybe recognize, and those are some of the very dominant males. But yeah, I'm going to zoom in. I don't know how well we'll. I'm from the UK, England, Britain, from the north of England. So this is our river in our town. This is quite an old historic market town. Not too many of them left now, but still quite a few, some very prominent ones. But it's got to be one of the most beautiful towns in the northeast. The the animal is called a swan, the white ones, but there's also a duck. There's ducklings there, a female and three ducklings. So that's a mallard. Yeah, parts of England are extremely beautiful, which, you know, but they're not all like this. Yeah, it's a duck. We do actually get some other ducks on the river as well. Oh, what are the name of them? Um, a goosander. We also get some goosanders. Now they're very different looking to the mallards, and they're more swimmer orientated. You know, they'll swim into the ground. Now, if you look in the background, there's also a moorhen there. Now I don't know if how well I can zoom in, but there's a little moorhen there, and we also get herons here, and we also get cormorants here as well. Those are the river birds, and we get a massive number of other birds here as well. You know, anything from pigeons and doves, all the regular kind of birds. You know, your sparrows, your starlings, your finches, your wagtails, and we get a lot of house martins. Which, if it had been a little bit sunnier, you might have seen those as well. And they'll come swooping in and they'll eat up the insects. A lot of corvids, you know, jackdaws and ravens and magpies and things. But yeah, look at those little babies all just huddled together. Beautiful. Everybody crossing the bridge is now starting to notice them. As far as I know, this is the first day we've actually seen them on the main part of the river for a good few months now. And this today is probably the first day most people in the town will have seen these babies. Some of the fishermen or people in the sort of the nearby sort of hamlets and villages will have probably seen these before. Yeah, there's quite a crowd now watching. Okay, well, I'm going to end the stream. I just wanted to share this beautiful moment. So that's the official Swan update. I will verify they've got tags on their legs. You know, they always have a tag on their leg. From what I believe, each swan is owned by not the queen, as a lot of people believe, or the king as it would be now, but they're actually owned by a particular wildlife trust or organization now. So I will check the tag. I got the male's tag anyway. I'll check that and just to double check that he is the original male from here. But I'm almost certain that he will be anyway.